Now, I'm coming at you with a blast of fire. What do you do?
Hello everyone, and welcome into yet again another well-anticipated analysis of a brand new show. And just like Amphibia, it interestingly enough has some of the same writers, storyboard artists, and directors as Gravity Falls, Star vs. and DuckTales. And of course, the same thing can be said about the creator herself, Dana Terrace. Plus, fun fact is that two of the characters are voiced by this guy. Okay, Alex Hirsch, people. God, I miss his voice acting.
Password, please!
We got no time for this, Hootie. Let us in.
All right, jeez! You never want to have any fun! Ow! Hoot!
No! I don't know who your little guy is! Ida! Who is this monster?
I know that laugh. You won't get away with this, owl lady! Yeah, all right, you did. You got away with it. She got away with it, everybody! Typical. God, hot Belgian waffles! Wait, I'm alone. I can swear for real! Son of a...
Anyways, it's time that I get serious and review the show for what it is, as well as pointing out certain potential clues within the episode. First off, this show's plot is darn near opposite to Amphibious, with the protagonist not exactly trapped within the realm, but she's free to leave whenever she pleases. Much like almost any other generic teenager character, she doesn't fit in with the rest of the students, has barely any friends, and is a bit of a tomboy. And don't get me wrong, now there's nothing necessarily wrong with this formulaic way of introducing a new main character, it's just a common shtick that you get used to. But however, admittedly, Luz doesn't seem to possess any friends whatsoever. Usually there is always at least that one other friend for support that person has, but instead she's all alone, so in the end, I suppose it isn't cliche exactly.
But I don't like any of that stuff. I like editing anime clips to music and reading fantasy books with convoluted backstories.
Miha, your fantasy world is holding you back. Do you have any friends? Real ones. Not imagined or drawn or reptilian.
Soon her mother realizes this, encouraging the idea of sending Luz off to a summer camp of complete boredom, and has a pamphlet that literally says, "Think inside the box." Anyways, having the summer program felt a little coincidental or just a random time jump. You mean to tell me that the very last day of school for Luz was the day she unleashed snakes onto the students? Wow. Going back to the episode itself, the adventure begins with Luz realizing that her witch fantasy book is missing from inside of the garbage after gently placing it there. Eventually, it's revealed to be taken by an owl that is nonetheless the same one possessed by the owl witch herself, Etta. Someone from the beginning who is known for her schemes and selling items from the human world and being wanted for misuse of performing magic. They even soon have to resort to escaping inside of Etta's owl house. Yeah, I know, roll credits. Moving forward, we are presented with the Demon King, or at least that's what he's dubbed as. And though he may be cute and cuddly now, we still don't know everything about him. And I completely understand that the comment section isn't gonna say it for me, so let's get it out of the way. Yes, King looks identical to the Pokemon character Cubone. At first, Etta the Witch explains that his powers supposedly were taken from him once the warden took away his crown, which ended up being a practical joke. As it turned out, it was basically a Burger King's crown only saying Burger Queen instead, which caught me off guard to be honest. I completely laughed out loud. Now once again, we aren't 100% sure on whether or not he is or was a king, but in speaking of demons, we gotta talk about the world of the Boiling Isles. According to Etta, it's a world that has imaginary creatures and other myths from the real world seeped into theirs, which would explain the giant griffin barfing spiders, fairies, and much more. She also mentions how giraffes were supposedly also brought into the world, but they were so weird that they were banned from the world and sent back to Earth. The Boiling Isles in a way is a depiction of hell, but obviously in a more surreal, silly way of course. And if you don't believe me, you can just look around at the background and character designs, especially Warden Raff when his face is finally unmasked.
Where am I? Did I die? Am I in the bad place?
You wish.
Now before I get into everything, it's time we discuss Luz and Etta's adventuring onward to the prison so that King can retrieve his Burger Queen crown. It was something that was stolen only to grab Etta's attention so that she would be forced to say yes to go on a date with the warden himself. This show already interests me. And I'm guessing that's part of the reason why the reward for her capture was really so high in pricing. But the most outlandish thing about the entire situation is that creatures get imprisoned for being weird. Yeah, seriously, that's it. And this is supposed to be a land filled with mythical demonic-like beasts. How is any of this normal exactly? This is practically a censored version of hell itself. Okay, so one person gets placed in jail due to creating fanfics of food, another for eating his own eyeballs, which is kind of reasonable if you ask me, and the last one gets locked up for pretty much believing in the Illuminati.
I think the world is lying! The world is a simulation! We are but playthings for a higher being!
Remember, reality is an illusion, the universe is a hologram. Bye, gold, bye!
She knew too much. And she's also mysteriously voiced by the creator herself, Dana Terrace. She knows that the world is an illusion. But anyways, I'm guessing that in this world there's no such thing as freedom of speech or expression. It was all mainly an interesting way for Luz to stand up for weirdos such as herself. Plus, like I had mentioned earlier, it also motivated her even more to stay and live with the Owl Lady as opposed to going back home to where summer camp is. And even sends a message to her mother to make it seem as if all is well with summer camp. If only she knew. Now, similar to Gravity Falls, as you may have already noticed, is how it seems like all, or at least most of the conflict will take place during summer break. Now, when it comes to any theories, I suppose one theory that I'm sure isn't true, but yet something I thought about, is how this could all be Luz Nasada's new book report or her imagination. And in addition to that, the last thing Luz's principal mentions is how her previous book report wasn't exactly a success story, and so she uses her weird thinking and creativity to write a story. But however, honestly, it's more believable that just like Amphibia, she truly is in another world besides Earth, and this is all reality. But one major clue I found peculiar was the moment where only humans are capable of phasing through the energy force field surrounding the stolen possessions in the jail. Sure, they were aware of the fact that humans existed and they know of their belongings as well, mainly due to Edda's shop. But could it be that the main ruler of them all is a human being who discovered the world first? It was just too coincidental, and knowing these shows nowadays, they didn't include that Easter egg in there for nothing. Now, as you probably could already tell, I enjoyed the comedy in the premiere. The story for me isn't as captivating yet, but this is the first episode, so I'll cut it some slack. It also seems like spellcasting and monster abilities is gonna play a major role within the show, alongside with some creative finishers, so I'm down when it comes to the action.
Do not underestimate me, Warden Wrath, for I am Luz, the human, warrior of peace. Now eat this, sucker!
As for the animation department overall, certain scenes look like this, which was most likely done by Soonmin Image Pictures, while the rest of the episode mainly is comprised of Rough Draft Studios' work. But here's where I draw the line. Remember when Star vs. had fillers, and we could almost always tell apart which were the important episodes from the casuals? Well, the same might apply for the Owl House. If you haven't seen the introduction for the show, I'm sure some clips, if not all of it, is animated by none other than Sugar Cube Animation. Yeah. Those people. So far, it doesn't seem like they can possibly screw up the show's look as badly as how it was done for Star Vs, so I still have high hopes. But hey, look at the bright side. Disney seems to have so much confidence in this show, like DuckTales and Amphibia, that they already renewed it for a second season, so look out. But at this point, maybe that doesn't really mean anything. I mean, Disney is a multi-billion-dollar company, so they can buy almost how many seasons they want. And that just about does it for my overview of the premiere. So far, they also have the list of new episodes, which consist of new ones each Friday evening. This year, ladies and gentlemen, will be the year of animation. Mark my words. This has been your boy, The Next Big Thing, and you will catch me in the next video. Peace!
Why did they call you the Owl Lady anyway?
'Cause she coughs up rat bones!
I can't believe I'm about to learn magic. Real magic. I challenge you to a witch's duel.
Let's see what kind of witch you are.
I could win this, right?
Oh yeah, no.